It might be a jungle out there in Searchman stage, but since we already have all the other Robot Master weapons on hand, I think we'll be just fine. I hadn't played this stage that much going in, so I decided to check to the left to see if there was anything there. Nope. So that's when I decided to go right, because that seems like the 2D platforming thing to do. Thunderclaw can help you bypass a lot of the trouble, and you can pea-shooter up the grizzlies in no time flat while on the run. But when it comes to clearing out a whole section of enemies at once, well, there's no better choice than the Astro Crush. The reason you want to do it here is because there was a big bolt down there in that little alcove on the right. 20 bolts early on in the stage is pretty neat, although I still think the one in Clownman stage is the easiest to get to. Now, while you might think to take the ladder up to the harder, higher path, don't skip out on this E-Tank that you can get with Tornado Hold on the lower one. That makes two for us. Once again, you might as well Astro Crush it up to take care of the Mets and the spike-throwing Grizzly. And the nice thing about this stage is because it was designed in the mindset that you might not have Thunderclaw, they've added in some disappearing blocks to make it easier to get on up this ladder. Now what's up here, you might ask? Well, it's nothing but a one-up. I might as well go collect that severed head of Mega Man, even though I won't be saving it after I quit the game, after the stage is done. We'll switch on over to the Flame Sword because it takes out the Rhino Driller pretty quickly. We'll also use it on this electrical Thorn Vine because there's a second big bolt in this stage. As far as I know, Searchman's level is the only one that has two big bolts in it. That's pretty neat. We're going to go continue on pea-shooting up most of the enemies from here on out because you are going to try to run and gun to get yourself on through. Speaking of getting on through, make sure you hit that gate and then jump for it, because it's a little annoying to try to jump through a gate and shoot it at the same time. Once again, you could either use the Thunderclaw and then hit the gate with it, but I'd rather just use the disappearing block because it's a much easier jump for me. Either way, you're set. Now, things do start to get hectic when the swarm birds show up in a second, but it's not like in Mega Man 8. They just don't seem to be as much of a problem for me here. I don't think they exactly swarm the screen like they did in that game. Anyway, once you drop down, you either have the choice of using the blocks or the Thunderclaw. In this case, I prefer the Thunderclaw because you only have to swing once, land on the block, and then you can either take the plunge or grab the health, depending on whether you need it or not. From here on out, it's just a matter of using whatever weapons you want, especially since we've beaten the other 7 stages. For instance, when you get surrounded, just Astro Crush it up. You'll thank me later. However, if you don't use it, you can find yourself getting hit quite easily in this part because it is a little bit panicky. Still, without the swarm birds around, I find it easy enough. One Thunderclaw swing and a shot to the door later, and we've beat this easy stage. Shame this boss is anything but. Hey, more. Come on! Now, the fight with Searchman reminds me a lot like the one I had with Crossman earlier in the game, in the sense that it's more important to pay attention to the attack he's getting ready to do, rather than the one you see coming at you at the moment. Now, getting hit by the reticle in this fight can actually be a good thing, because it'll slow him down for a moment, which might give you just enough time to breathe. That's good for when Searchman catches you when he's on the edges, but if he's in the center, you might not be ready for his next attack. In this case, he decided to do the Deadly Storm, which is easily the worst move he can do to you. But if you see it coming, the strategy is to slide under him, and then pepper him from behind. You also have to be careful just in case he decides to throw the spinning tops instead. They can whittle down your health in no time flat, and I can see that I'm in pretty bad shape. But luckily, he's in worse. Or is that there? Well, you know what I mean. Searchman wound up taking me out in the previous 3 attempts I had at this level. But 4th time proved to be the charm as I got the homing sniper for my trouble, a weapon that really helped me out in the Mega Man 8 Wily stages from what I remember, and I'm hoping they'll do the same for me in the D-Make. Now, I did do some bolt farming after this stage was over, mainly because I had 2 items I still had to purchase. The Exchanger, for when I have full life but not as full weapon energy, and the Energy Saver for just having more weapon energy overall. That gives me a full slate of weapons and a full slate of items, and I'm hoping that'll be enough because you are looking at the final password screen you'll be seeing in this game. Whew. 8 Robot Masters down, and that means Wily's fortress is ready to be invaded. I think I'm just the guy to do that, so I'll be seeing you next time for when the Wily stages begin.